Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Exploring Tampa Bay Commercial Real Estate. I'm Jay Whitner. We have a guest with us today, Jake Wollman, who's one of the founding agents of KW Commercial Tampa Bay, and Jake will be our interview today. So Jake, how'd you get into real estate in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate you having me on, and this is a wonderful group. I've actually been with the KW Commercial Group for about 8 years now. Originally from Naples, grew up in Southwest Florida, and went to school at University of Florida. Didn't really know that I wanted to be in real estate, but I always had a bit of a passion for it. Grew up with my father being an estate planning attorney, learned a bit about consulting and working with clients with the goal of really helping clients be successful in their transactions. And with that, I know that we win as well. I first started after University of Florida working with a gentleman that I still work with today, John Whitner. I think you know John.
I do.
So Jay is John's brother, actually, and Jay's our operations director over at KW Commercial here. About 8 years ago, John Whitner partnered with Kevin Chadwick to start up the commercial arm of Keller Williams. We have about 1,500 residential agents now as part of the Chadwick Group that we work hand in hand with, and helping them with their commercial clients, etc. So this has given me a wonderful opportunity to get into the market here and really work with some great people. And I definitely owe a lot of that to referrals from our residential agents who have really good knowledge of this market. Interestingly, I started off at a small boutique firm with John Whitner, who we were describing. And after graduating from University of Florida with the international business degree, I finished that program in Madrid, Spain, and got a master's in international business, and ended up giving John a call, and he said, hey, we're about to launch KW Commercial in the Tampa Bay area. And I just knew that it was an exciting opportunity and it was the right people to partner with. So here I am today.
Great. So a lot of your practice is focused on leasing and working with tenants. So what have you been up to recently?
So it's definitely been interesting. Today, as you're watching this video, we're sitting in the heat of the COVID pandemic. We're dealing with some sensitive times in our community here and globally. And despite all that, we're still seeing tenant activity, which is really exciting. So right now, we have had some fallout. There's been some deals that were about to hit prior to COVID, and they haven't for various reasons. But others we're really excited about, and this has given some tenants particularly the ability to have a little bit more time and a window here to work on their build-outs and really open fresh with their new concepts in a clean, new, safe home when we come out of this on the other side. And we've actually been able to get a few really good leases done with innovative tenants that I'd like to talk about a little later during this time.
Wonderful. Is there any certain area in St. Pete that you're focused on? I mean, there's so many different sort of sub-markets within St. Pete.
Sure. So my passion is urban infill. I like finding opportunities that could be something else. In St. Pete, we're fortunate enough to have a few historic buildings. We have some interesting history here in St. Pete, and one of those areas in particular that I find particularly interesting is the Edge District. And if you'd like, we can talk about the Edge District a little bit.
Yeah, it's an area that I like too. I like Hawkers in particular. But
Okay.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Edge District?
So I would say Green Bench Brewing has been the catalyst. So we're going to do a couple shout outs here today.
Okay,
That's
good.
okay. So Green Bench, kudos to these guys. This is just a wonderful team, organic, homegrown, local business here in St. Pete. And I would say they were really the catalyst, if not one of the catalysts, to really launch this Edge District. So if we're talking about this Edge District, what does this acronym mean? So a lot of people guess here. I had to re-look it up myself this morning. The Edge District is entertainment, dining, galleries and good times, and etc. The E actually stands for etc. And I think that's indicative of our eclectic culture here in St. Petersburg. The Edge District really favors local homegrown concepts. We're seeing a lot of innovation in the Edge District, and that's actually brought developers from all over the country here to St. Pete. Largely, companies and businesses that have taken a chance to come into the Edge District have really helped it flourish. Another example of a business that I'm a big fan of and I think has done wonders to really create a sense of place here in the Edge District is Intermezzo. Intermezzo Cafe is actually a cocktail bar and a cafe. So you'll have your business meeting there in the morning and then go for a cocktail around happy hour time, and it's just a really cool environment and an active scene in the Edge District.
Very good.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about today with the Edge District, which is particularly exciting in St. Pete, is just the scale and the quantity of new development. So I'm pulling up here kind of a list here, and I wanted to highlight a few of the new multifamily projects.
Wonderful.
So starting at the easternmost boundary of the Edge District, we call 9th Street North, or Dr. MLK. There's a project that most of you here in St. Pete, or who have seen some of this transition happen here recently, will see it as just east of this boundary, but we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and include them in the Edge District here. And that's the project called Icon Central. Icon, as you've seen, we were talking about this earlier, has some pretty luxurious rental units. Gorgeous.
It was amazing. It was on their website. It was most impressive.
Yeah. So they've really done a great job at creating something that we didn't have here in St. Pete. They've really reset the market and created a energetic and vibrant place for people to live and also shop, which we'll talk about here in a little bit with some of the mixed-use projects that we're seeing. But a really energetic block of St. Pete that wasn't before. And for a very long time, this block actually was vacant. Historically, this block was home to Union Trust Bank and had a historic bank building on the site, which the developer actually incorporated into the project.
Nice.
So one of the really exciting opportunities that we see now with these multifamily projects is the retail leasing. And the city, I believe, has done a really good job at making sure that these projects don't come to the market with just residential. Because honestly, it would be a shame if we had just people living here and we didn't have the services, the amenities, the things that make living in downtown so special.
Well, the synergy of the retail, restaurants, and the residential all work together to make it hum along.
Yeah, I agree. So as we move a little bit further west up the Edge District from 9th Street, we then hit another apartment complex called 930 Central Flats. And the developer Bainbridge did a wonderful job at designing this project. Again, amazing lobby, 2-floor atrium lobby, really cool amenities, just a fun place to live, right on Central Avenue. You feel the energy and the excitement of looking down over your unit at Central. They do have some retail coming down on the ground floor of that building as well. Across the street from another shout out we'll do is Grassroots Coffee and Kava. Exciting 2-story coffee shop, kava shop, right in the heart of the Edge District. So those are two of the kind of earlier adopter multifamily projects, and then as we move out west, there's actually three more major multifamily projects that I'd like to touch on.
Wonderful. I've always been surprised at how many apartments are there now compared to 5 years ago.
And I agree, and what's really cool to see is actually in the last, I would say even month, we're starting to see the landscaping come in around these buildings. So now we have our Florida palm trees and we have some buffer between the street, and you can actually see where the outdoor seating area is for some of these sites, which is really exciting to finally see the construction barricades and the craziness of the cranes and everything finally dissipate and make way for tenants starting their build-outs.
Sounds good.
So as we're sitting here at the corner of 16th Street and Central Avenue, we can see 3 new apartment buildings. These buildings are all done and completed now by different developers. So the Artistry building, sitting at the corner of 16th Street and Central, is 246 units. There's about 11,000 square feet of retail on the ground floor, which we'll culminate with. I want to share with the viewers today a couple of leases that we've actually been able to help broker as part of the Artistry project.
Excellent.
Right behind the Artistry project, heading out towards the beach, is another project called Slocum Place Apartments. It's about the similar size. There's going to be retail on the ground floor of that as well. More to come on that. We do have some more retail announcements that we'd love to share with you. But then there's another project, if you've noticed, on First Avenue North and 16th Street. That's actually 11 stories. So while the majority of these apartment buildings that we've seen pop up recently are between 6 and 9 stories, this project was built high-level construction quality using concrete rather than stick construction, an 11-story building. The unique thing about Vantage Lofts that I find so intriguing is the developer built these units with very small sizes in mind. The majority of the 200 and so units are less than 400 square feet.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So if you talk about cost of living, one way to make your living more affordable is to live in a smaller space.
Mm-hmm.
So if we think about construction costs being what they are, there's not much variability there in construction costs. The only way to make it more affordable for someone to live in an apartment like this is to make it smaller. But then you say, well, I'm living in 400 square feet, how could I possibly survive? And these buildings have really, really amazing state-of-the-art amenities. So for example, at the Vantage project, you have a rooftop amenity deck, you have a virtual golf bay. You're right in the heart of the Edge District with all the new retail and shops and everything coming. So really downtown is your backyard. And that's kind of a theme that we like to share a little bit.
It's a very vibrant community. I mean, there's so much to do all the time.
Yeah, it is. So I want to touch on in another video some of the hotel development here in St. Pete, but I'll just allude to it today. There's 3 new hotels also in the Edge District. One of them is actually topped out right now, and it's across the street from the Artistry building that we were just describing. So the True by Hilton is actually a brand new hotel. It's going to have some amazing retail on the ground floor, super hip. It's by the Tropicana Field, downtown St. Pete. This was an area that we didn't really see hotels in. We didn't see much of anything for a while, and now, like I mentioned to and alluded to kind of at the beginning of this, is we have some really amazing retailers and markets and art that has driven developers outside of our market to come here and really look at St. Pete as a viable option. Mm-hmm. And it's really exciting to see. So in another video, we'll touch on the hotel development in St. Pete.
Sounds good.
But today, I kind of wanted to really just share my excitement with all these new apartments coming. And looking at the math and the number, the unit count with you this morning, we got up to about 1,300. 1,200 and change, almost 1,300 new apartments coming to downtown St. Pete.
So do you think the trend will continue? Is there going to be a lot more apartments coming, or is it pretty much maxed out in the space that's available?
Yeah, so another really good question. So I don't know. But what I'm seeing is that there's still demand. And we still have infill sites, and we have new areas of our little town here, St. Petersburg, that are becoming hotspots for entertainment and community and people wanting to live. So I do think that we're going to continue to see multifamily development push out east to another topic that we'll discuss in another video, but the Grand Central District. Mm-hmm. So if we were to conclude today, I do want to give one more shout out, because I think this is exciting, and this is also what these videos are for, is to give the recognition and kind of share the excitement of some of the new tenants that we've helped and people coming to the Edge District. So if we could maybe take the the last couple minutes here, I'd love to share a little bit about the 3 new tenants that we have coming to the Artistry building.
Well, that sounds great. People want to know.
Cool. Okay. So this has been a long time coming. This is a developer out of Indiana. They're a young group. They're innovative. They're creative, and they really focus on retail. So when they came to St. Pete and they picked the corner of 16th Street and Central as the end cap, I call it, to the Edge District, the start of the Grand Central District, you could call it. They said this is absolutely a retail corridor. So we want to design our retail and really be forward thinking to be able to bring in the right retail tenant mix. And also, if we had our wish, we'd open up the retail when our residents move in. Because why do we have retail? The retail is for an amenity for the apartment.
Sure.
Right? So I feel like we've started to create this amenity. So the 3 tenants that we have signed up thus far are, and I'll just kind of name them in order from 17th Street, kind of heading back over towards 16th Street. So at the corner of 17th Street and Central, we have a really exciting concept coming in called Mammamia Gelato. And Mammamia Gelato is an Italian authentic gelato concept. The founder of this company is from France. They have a lot of really good ideas. They're design forward in their vision. It's going to be a really, really cool space, and can't wait to eat some gelato there.
Yeah, you shouldn't have told me about that one.
I know. So the next one's even more exciting, or equally, but as we progress our food voyage down the Edge District, the next tenant that we have is called Raining Berries. And Raining Berries is working on expanding pretty rapidly. This is going to be their 2nd location, if I'm not confused. Raining Berries focuses on coffee, sandwiches, acai bowls. They're really excited to come into the Edge District, and I encourage you all to check out their brand as well. That's called Raining Berries, and they're really fun. And then the 3rd one that we just got signed, equally exciting, and I think perfect for this location, is a nail salon. And I can't release the name yet, but many of you guys will know this salon, and they're already in downtown St. Pete and have a wonderful client base. And they decided to come out to the Edge District, a little further outside of downtown, but really where they think that they can expand and thrive and find the right clientele. So in that project at the corner of 16th Street and Central, we do have one more space left. So we're gonna hope that we find the right tenant, and we're gonna definitely hold out with the developer's request until the right fit comes. So we have about 3,500 square feet left.
It's a good size.
Perfect for a restaurant, could be service related. We'd love to see a small urban grocery store. I mean, I think that, as someone that lives close by, that would be definitely a push and on my wish list. But regardless, this is a hard corner. This is the end cap to the Edge District and the start of the Grand Central. And you're going to have probably 400 people or so living above you. So with that, if there's anything else we can discuss today, I'd love to. If not, I'd love to pick up this discussion next time and maybe talk about some hotel development or the Grand Central District. And
I look forward to learning about the hotels with you. So on the apartments, is Artistry the newest major development?
So
apartment space?
Yeah, there's a few coming to market at the same time. So really, the 3 projects are all going to be delivered around the same time. The Artistry, the Slocum Place apartments that's just just west of the Artistry, as well as Vantage Lofts. So 3 brand new apartments. They're both in lease up, or they're all 3 in lease up right now and doing very well.
Well, I'm sure they're happy to hear it. And now that there's fresh gelato coming to the area, that will be a big inducement to have more tenants coming.
Right. Yeah, we can only have so much. Probably never enough gelato.
That's true. Well, that's it for our show today. Thanks for visiting with us. Don't forget, we air new shows on Wednesday afternoons. So drop by and see us and subscribe to our channel.
Awesome.
See you later.
Take care.